Welcome to the second episode of Swan's Japanese Horror Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing the Ju-On series, also known as The Grudge. Now these films are directed by Takashi Shimizu, and they come in a lot of different versions. There's the home video release, the theatrical releases, the American remakes, which he also had a part of. But as far as the Japanese movies go, the first and second theatrical releases have been released here on DVD by Lionsgate Films. Ju-On's got a great story. It's about a haunted house that has been cursed because of something awful that happened there once before, and that anybody that comes into contact with the house, let's just say that bad stuff goes down. So it's a traditional Japanese ghost story. It features more pale-skinned Japanese girls with long black hair. So it's not something that you haven't seen in a million other Japanese horror movies, but this is one of the big-name heavy hitters. And of course, who could forget the creepy little kid of Ju-On? Just as The Ring had Sadako, Ju-On's got this little kid who's like, looks like he's painted all in white, and he runs around like naked and under tables and across hallways, and he sounds kind of cheesy, but it's actually pretty scary. The Ju-On films are also similar to the Ring films in that they don't rely on gore or blood and guts to scare viewers, but instead they have more of the mysterious and the mood-setting, bone-chilling atmosphere that's similar to the stuff found in the Ring. Actually, Ju-On does have a few violent scenes, or at least it gets more violent than the Ring movies, especially at the beginning and the very end with what actually happened in the house to make it cursed. So it's nothing too bad, and it's over in a few minutes, but fair warning. The Ju-On films differ from other Japanese horror films in the way that they are presented, in that they are told in a non-linear fashion and through various protagonists. So you have someone being the main character at one point in the story, and then you'll see other side characters become main characters later. And so it's kind of like putting the pieces all together, which is pretty cool. A bit confusing maybe on the first time through. Maybe a little bit repetitive because after all it's just kind of the same thing happening over and over again. The house is getting revenge, but in different and interesting ways. The first movie is a lot better than the second one. The second one, it kind of loses its originality, and it's basically just the same stuff. Another thing of note is how great the DVD Region 1 release for the original Ju-On was, and that Lionsgate packed a bunch of special features in here, including an audio commentary with Sam Raimi. So that was pretty cool just to hear his thoughts, from one great filmmaker to talk about this and describe how scared he was. Unfortunately, by the time the Ju-On 2 came around here, Lionsgate Films basically said you're going to get subtitles and maybe a trailer or two, and that was it. So that kind of sucked, but at least it was brought over, so you can't really complain. For fans of Takashi Shimizu, I would actually recommend his other film, Marebito. It's a much more obscure and weird film than these. I love these films, but I think Marebito is probably the best film of his that he's released, or at least that's been brought over here. So yeah, thank you for joining in for another episode of Swan's Japanese Horror Reviews. Keep sending in those comments and ratings, and I'll see you next time. What could be that horrible noise? Coming from in here? George Michael!